how do you think that will affect the IT world or jobs and stuff, especially when you start talking about automation, IT automation? Because that's one of the things Python is tying to, a lot of
Correct.
IT automation as well as, automation in general. So what are your thoughts on that in the future?
You're gonna have to learn this stuff. Now, you may not have to become a subject matter expert, like you're gonna become the next Mark Zuckerberg or the next Keep It Techie or the next me or the next whoever's out there. But you're gonna have to have a somewhat deeper understanding than just the ability to hit the power button and start surfing the web. Because down here where I live in Orlando, they are literally training kids as young as 8th and ninth grade to prepare them to enter the IT world. And what I mean is they're actively recruiting kids out of middle school. So when they go to high school, starting their freshman year, they'll have these kids learning IT fundamentals, A plus, Net plus, Security plus, and they're going to have all these certs before they graduate high school. In addition to, they're having these kids do some work with a local community college down here, to where these kids will be, in addition to the certs, they'll also have an associate's degree. All this stuff coming out of high school with their high school diploma, to where they can jump straight into the market. And if they want to bypass college, just go straight to the workforce. You talk about an 18-year-old kid who might come out the gate making 30, 40, $50,000 a year within his first 2 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to learn this stuff, because this is a clear indication that we're not rewinding the clock, going back to the Stone Age, going back to the days of your mama and them, or when I was a kid back in the 80s. Everything is technology driven, thanks to this whole social distancing thing going on. And, they're not about to rewind the clock. They're going to keep moving forward. As a matter of fact, I get phone calls every other day from our district, Orange County School District, asking me, how do I want my son to go to school, or my two kids to go to school? Because my oldest starts ninth grade, and then his younger brother starts kindergarten this year. And they're asking parents, do you want to do virtual school, a combination, or do you want them to all go back and, they just wear their little masks and do the social distancing thing? And, this is becoming our life now.
Yeah.
And this is the same way with just any other job out there. So I'm saying this because all of this is driven by technology. The mere fact that we're able to communicate with each other via YouTube, OBS, or whatever, platform you're using to make this happen, whether you're using, what is the other one called that everybody uses? Zoomcast or whatever.
Yeah.
This is all technology driven. Somebody has to build all this stuff. Or if you want to talk about automation, Walmart, they are currently trying to phase out cashiers.
Yeah, I've seen the articles.
And replace them with self-checkout machines. Why? Because it's cheaper. Even though a self-checkout machine is just a quote-unquote robot or a piece of software or whatever, combination of the two, somebody still has to be able to fix that machine if it goes down. So what if you're the guy who wins the contract to fix all the machines? Down here in Orlando, we have the world's biggest McDonald's down here off of a street called International Drive. You go up in there, they have giant kiosks. I call them giant iPads. You go up there and punch your order on the screen. It sends it to the person in the back. You go sit down and somebody delivers the food to your table. There's no need for a cashier. They have self-driving trucks. We all know Uber is out there trying to make self-driving vehicles.
Yeah. Down
here in Orlando, again, there's this area called Lake Nona, which is not too far from the airport. And it's like way the hell on the other side of town from where I live at. But they are currently trying, I know last year before this whole social distancing thing hit, they have driverless taxi cab vehicles that, pretty much operate within like a 2 or 3 block radius, just picking people up, driving them around, and, kind of seeing how that thing goes. It was like a really big deal. And, if they can get that technology down packed, well, what do you think is going to happen with the transportation industry in general? So what I'm saying is technology is everywhere. You don't have to be a subject matter expert, but you need to have an appreciation for it and a willingness to potentially learn it, to try to fit it in your life somehow, because you're going to be impacted by it. Even me, even my job, what I do can be automated away. And pretty much everybody, no matter what kind of job you got. Like, I was talking with a lawyer not too long ago. She interviewed me for her podcast about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And she was like, my job could be automated away. She's a lawyer for the federal government doing whatever she does.
Wow.
But, matter of fact, you just go on websites like LegalZoom. They have all that stuff up there ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So nobody's safe out there. I'm not saying that you have to be an expert. I keep saying that again because I know a lot of people think, oh, I need to be an expert. No, you don't. You just need to learn how to utilize it, because a lot of people know how to utilize the technology from a consumer standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, meaning you go on Instagram, you make your videos, and you get a whole bunch of likes and shares, and you're the man out in these streets. And that's fine and dandy, especially if you know how to monetize it. But, just think about what if you know how to work on the back end of that thing, where you're actually developing the applications or the APIs and all this other stuff that ties into these apps to make it a more robust application, make it more functional, that you can turn around and sell that thing, or, you know what I'm saying? So, these are just things you want to consider, because IT is literally ingrained in everything that we do. It's only going to kick up more. You want to talk about 5G. Everybody's on this conspiracy theory, 5G. Oh, 5G is going to, turn us all into aliens or something, whatever the heck they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
What 5G is really going to do is 5G is really going to accelerate this automation process.
Yes, it is.
If you want driverless vehicles and all that stuff, well, it needs 5G, because it's a super fast version of basically the internet, Wi-Fi, however you want to phrase it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what's going to kick this thing into overdrive. So you might want to be conscious about this instead of just treating it as something that's cool, because you might mess around and it'd be a robot doing your job.
Yep.
Like, it's the reality of the world we're living in.
Exactly.
So.